So I can't sleep. Big surprise there. This is an I can't sleep video after all. Um, I keep having issues with my camera. It keeps making everything blurry. And I don't know why, but uh so how are things? How are things in the future? I'm filming this in October. It's not going up until November. Saying that out loud felt weird. It doesn't feel like it's October. Maybe because it's so hot. Like it's hot to me. I'm having root beer. I shouldn't have held that up. It might make the camera blur my face. Whoa. So I don't know. There's a lot going on in the world, yeah. I'm not such a big fan of it all, but I am kind of a fan. Like today was the No Kings. It's the second No Kings protest. Um so that makes me happy. I don't know what I want to talk about though, because I don't really want to talk about politics. And it seems like every time I say that, we start talking about politics or everything comes back to politics. Like, why is anyone pro-fascism who isn't the ruling elite or whatever in the fascist society? Why is any voter who isn't in politics a fascist? Like, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to think about that. Because I don't understand the mindset. Like, why are you voting for people who are going to take away your rights and laugh about it? I don't understand. Like, I don't understand anything about the people running the United States right now. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's changed. It's probably, by the time this goes up, it will have been over a month since I recorded it. Anything could happen. Yeah, but I mean, I really don't want to talk about that, but that's what's on my mind, you know? Like, these backgrounds kind of freak me out. Just the way that it does it. I'm recording this in Zoom because then I can sit here with my microphone. But yeah, I mean, whatever. I guess we're going to talk about politics. Ugh, but I don't want to. Like um, like things are good, right? I feel good, I guess, right now. So I don't want to talk about politics because that makes me feel bad. It isn't that I don't want to be informed. It isn't that I don't want to share my thoughts in general. It's that just right now I am not feeling it. Like, 'cause I don't know. It's weird. Everything is in a good place right now as I record this. I've been working on so many projects and things are finally starting to fall into place like I want them to. Um, so that's good. I mean, I started this weird thing, and I don't even know if it's really Buddhist, but it was this story I saw a YouTube video about. So I need to find out if it's actually Buddhist, like a Buddhist parable or whatever. But well, I mean, it was about practicing gratitude, which I used to do. Like I've been through it, y'all. I've been through it. See my vlog. But like, I guess I got so beat down, and that's what I don't want to feel that. I don't feel that about the current political climate. I feel like there are people trying to beat me down. But I also feel like this is America. Like we aren't gonna stop being the United States because some idiot in the White House wants to be a king. It's like if he had ever read a book, if he ever listened to anyone, he might know something about American history, other than that Andrew Jackson was crazy and therefore a great American hero. I mean, that's all he got out of American history. That guy who shot everybody and committed genocide against the native tribes. He was a swell dude. You guy who brushed his hair straight up, like, and a fellow Trump rump probably sees him as a fellow cartoon villain. But Andrew Jackson had a brain. It was just a very wrong brain. It was a very, in my opinion, an evil brain. But see, like, okay, I went off on a tangent because politics are on my mind, but I guess what I'm grateful for, that's what I've been doing. Like, when bad things happen, I look for something to be grateful for, And like, I, whoa, where am I going? Hmm. I think I've had a little too much sleep medicine tonight. It was an accident. Um, So, like in the current political climate, I'm grateful for things like the No Kings protest because it shows me how not alone I am because sometimes I feel alone. Like I'm shocked whenever I find out someone else is pro-fascist. So yeah, I'm grateful for the No Kings protest. And that's how I look at it. Like we have so much hope. So instead of looking at the negative, which is kind of like when, with all the crap that kept happening to me, it's like I was just fighting to get back up constantly, to even stand back up, and then I get knocked right back down. And I was getting worn out. Just didn't want to stand up anymore. But yeah, but just thinking about practicing gratitude, you know, no matter what is going on, what is there to be grateful for? Look for that. Look for the gift that any crisis is giving you. And that led me to some other things just because like I had such bad road rage and like I haven't even been doing this a month. Like I don't even know if I've been doing this a full 2 weeks. But I haven't anymore had road rage. Like I would get such bad road rage. And, like now, like I don't even really have to think about it because it happened the first time and I started to get road rage, like somebody did some a-hole thing. And I just said, thank you for an opportunity to practice patience. And so then that became my go-to when something like that would happen, when like people are cutting me off, or I get cut in tra stuck, bleh, or I get stuck in traffic, and then I start being gratitude, expressing I've definitely had too much sleep medicine tonight, but I start expressing gratitude in the midst of that frustration for the opportunity to practice patience. And you know, a conclusion I came to pretty quickly was that it's kind of a choice. Like you don't realize it when you keep getting backed into corners and poked with sticks. But if you take a minute to breathe and, you know, express gratitude for something, like, you know, find the gift within the curse, and then you nullify the curse. And like what I realized is that, yeah, you have a choice. Once you have that mindset, I guess, is what I'm saying. Like once you get in that mindset, you realize that you're choosing between, like you're going to be stuck in traffic, for example, and you're going to be stuck in traffic for 30 minutes. So you can either let yourself get worked up and tied in knots and angry and frustrated and miserable for 30 minutes, or you can thank the universe for an opportunity to practice patience, and you can realize, I'm going to be stuck in traffic for 30 minutes. I'm going to be late to work. I'm at peace with that because I would rather be at peace for 30 minutes than miserable for 30 minutes. But I am going to be in this situation for 30 minutes. So I choose to feel at peace with it. And it's weird how quickly I have trained myself to do that. Like I don't have to think about it as much at all anymore. And it's not even just traffic. That's where it started, but it's kind of everywhere and every situation where I'm just like, you know, anywhere where, you know, the PTSD and such makes me experience existential dread when I get in certain situations, but I've been getting better because I'm sort of getting in the habit of just making peace with whatever will be. You know, like even at work, it's just everywhere. Like I'm, you know, like the cleaning lady pisses me off at my author office. And I stop and I remind myself, I used to get so mad. Like not to her face. Like I'm never lost my temper with her, but not, you know, I never targeted her with my anger. I was just seething silently. But now it's like I remind myself every time I get pissed off at her for existing, I express gratitude for how kind she is and how she once, when my key card stopped working and I couldn't get into my office unit, she got her key and came and let me in. And if she hadn't been there, I would have lost the entire weekend. So now it's getting faster, where it's like I'll have the irritation, but then it's less time before I switch to gratitude that I'm grateful for this woman. So, you know, it doesn't mean I'm not frustrated. Well, you know, it's kind of like it's just reminding me the value of her and it makes her less irritating, if that makes sense. Like when I think of that episode where she saved my weekend with her key, it makes whatever she was doing that was getting on my last nerve less annoying. And so it's really, oh, mother puss bucket. I am grateful for my YouTube channel and that this is something that can be resolved. See, camera went blurry and I just did the thing because I was getting really irritated and I mean, I probably cut a lot of that out, me trying to get the picture to be clear again, but um yeah, I was getting frustrated and then realized, well, this is what's happening. I can either be miserable and angry and upset, or I can be at peace with it. I mean, in all of this, like this whole being at peace with the inevitable, being at peace with what is, doesn't mean I'm not going to actively work against bad situations, but I'm still at peace with it. Like right then, where I was at peace with the camera malfunction, but I was actively working to correct it. And I was, at peace with the process. I do need to figure that out though. Like, why is it blurring so much lately? Is it the heat? Is it just old? It's not that old a camera at all. Like it's maybe 2 years old, 2 or 3. I don't know. Or is it the lighting? I'm terrible with lighting, as I've mentioned before. Man, I took way too much sleep medicine. Like I feel heavy. I feel like my voice is weird. Like, I don't know. But yeah, being at peace with things. There's this weird new thing. And so like I've been so much more productive and like I don't know, it's almost like I got on a different track because everything is just fine. Everything is going well. Like I'm still in the crazy situation, like living situation I've been in, but like everything is rapidly improving. The more that I practice patience and gratitude and being at peace with things, the more good things happen. And I remember how I told myself, I don't want anyone in my life who doesn't bring me peace, love, and joy. No one is invited into my life who doesn't bring me peace, love, and joy. And so I realized that when I am in this mindset, when I'm practicing being at peace with everything, all of that, that I'm inviting peace into my life. When I take the time to value people who annoy me, I'm inviting love into my life. And that in itself all brings me joy. And so I think it's weird that, I mean, my shrinks always thought it was weird too, how they could teach me how to reframe something and it would be something like I'd come back the next week and have totally turned some things around using whatever technique they taught me. And like they'd be like that takes people years to get down. I'm like, well, I am determined to get better. Like, I don't have time for this crap was kind of my attitude. It's like I don't have time for PTSD. Give me some psychology trick and I will learn it immediately. I won't want to do anything else until I get that down because yeah, it's just a determination to improve. And so I guess that's what it is. Like I kind of it's aside from the whole being reminded to practice gratitude from some possibly Buddhist parable, I kind of came to all these conclusions myself, like just as a result of doing the first one. So it's kind of like I taught myself these tricks, these psychology tricks, but they worked. So I've been very dedicated to them. And yeah, I mean, it's just weird. And I'm wondering, it's like I just feel all the possibility now. You know, when you're at peace with being in a terrible situation, it's like, well, you're going to be in this terrible living situation until you are not. And so choose how you want to experience that, in misery or in peace. You know, make peace with being broke, like when you can't afford, or me, I'm speaking only for myself. Y'all do what you want. Do what you want with your lives. I'm just kind of telling you how I think through these things, like because I've gone through these things. Like I've gone through these things. It's when you can't afford food, you can be miserable. My stomach is growling right now. But it's like, well, I won't be able to eat dinner, aside from your stomach growling. You just kind of have to be at peace with it and it's harder when you have a physical, like hunger pain to contend with. But it's kind of like you've got to be at peace with pain too, because pain creates a sense of urgency that you can't do anything about. Like you can't well, you can in some, like you can pull out a splinter, right? But there are some pains that are just going to be painful. You are going to be in pain. And no matter how fast you run or scream at people or beg for help, you still are going to be in pain. It's like when I used to go to the hospital before before I solved that problem. Like I used to have these, it would feel like I was having a heart attack. And I can't even articulate how painful it was. Like this pain would start in my back. I found a medicine that um I haven't been to the ER since, but and it's been years, but like I'd go to the ER and I'd just be freaking out in pain. And like that sense of urgency, there was nothing I could do except wait it out. And even when I got to the ER, they'd like hook up some, they'd run tests to find out if I was having a heart attack or not, like, and they'd give me morphine or whatever, and it would still take like 30 minutes for the pain to stop. But pain, it's kind of like all in your head, right? And it's kind of like I wonder if I can use this technique to get through pain, physical pain, more easily. It's like, well, I'm heading to the doctor and this is sending pain signal. I don't know because it's scary. Like it's scary to move. Like when you think you're having a heart attack, like to just try to sit up and ignore it. Like it was the kind of pain that had me doubled over. Like I couldn't. Mm-mm. So I don't know. I can't imagine finding a way to be at peace with that. So it's a technique though that'll work in traffic, It'll work when life just generally sucks and there's nothing you can do about it. Like anytime we come to some epiphany like that, I always wonder why it took me so long to figure that one out. Or why doesn't everyone do this? Like why does anyone get mad in traffic? We don't have to. So it's weird. I don't know. But whatever. It's working and things are getting better in my life just all around. And it started with this crazy lady who lives next door to the friend whose couch I crash on the most frequently. I guess I was just faced with losing everything, which is what little I have remaining after all the crap I have been through in recent years, especially the last year. And I guess it was the last, like her going insane and trying to murder me with a brick and just that whole ordeal. And it was like, all right, I'm now faced with potentially losing everything. And that was kind of around the same time, but a little bit sooner, where it's not that I was consciously making peace with it, but it was just kind of like, what else do I have? And it kind of was empowering to realize, like I have nothing to lose for standing my ground because if I don't stand my ground, I'm going to lose everything anyway. So if standing my ground is what gets me crushed, like, are you going to go down like a little bitch or are you going to go down fighting? It's a choice. But like just being at peace with that reality, like if you're going to go down, be at peace with it, but choose how you respond, how you carry yourself as you go down. And I would choose defiance. And I suppose that's how I'm looking at the political situation in the United States as well. Like if democracy is going down, how am I going down? Hopelessly or with defiance? Because either way, I might be going down and there's no stopping it. Democracy may be going down and I will be defiant. But that defiance could turn the tide, like you see with the No Kings protests. I mean, that's why we have a country in the first place, because we were defiant to a king. But even then, not everybody wanted independence. Not everybody in the country was rooting for George Washington. Some of the colonists were rooting for the British Army. So we still today have people who would prefer an authoritarian over democracy and freedom. And you know what? That's just how it is. There will always be people who prefer authoritarians. There will always be people who prefer a democracy. And a society will always go one way or the other, and sometimes turn around and go the other way too. It's like it may go in a circle, but right now things are up in the air. So being at peace with that is helping me through the day. Like there's no reason to sit here and have anxiety about what's coming, have anxiety about, well, is he going to deploy the troops? Is he going to turn the army on American cities who didn't vote for him and actually kill people? Like that kind of thing. Is he going to force a civil war from the White House? Maybe, maybe not. And if not, why would I have wasted all of my time with that anxiety? And if he is, well, what's my anxiety doing to help me? Nothing. But if I'm at peace with it, I can think clearly. Anxiety makes you feel like you're trapped in a tiny little box. But when you're at peace, you don't feel the constraints of the box. It's like you're aware of all the space around you and all the places you can move and all the ways you can move and all the objects you have at your fingertips. You're able to see everything. But yeah, when you're panicking, you have tunnel vision. It's like, here's the problem. I can't solve it. I can't solve it. I can't do anything. I can't do anything about the problem. There it is. But when you're at peace, you're like, well, I can't do anything about the problem. There it is. So how will I endure it? With anxiety or at peace? And yeah, it takes a minute sometimes to remember that, but I'm getting so much better at it and it's really cool. So like, it's like, because I guess politics was really getting me down and pile that on top of my current life situation that, I don't want to get into it, but it's in my vlogs. If you want to scroll back just over the past year, pretty much like the past year and a month or so. Um, so I was just kind of feeling really defeated, like in the heat, like I'm always hot, I'm always sweating. Um, I don't really have much opportunity to eat healthy food lately, but all of it combined started to really get me down. But once I started this weird practice, I didn't feel it anymore. Like I didn't feel boxed in. I didn't feel defeated. I just felt like this is where I am right now, and I am actively moving in a better direction. Like I'm actively moving toward the life I want. And I can think more clearly about that goal, because I guess when you're anxiety ridden, when you're in a panic about the walls closing in and such, your instincts are telling you to run away from the things that are making you feel like this. But when you're focused on running away from something, you're not really focused on what you're running toward. And I guess now I am far more focused on what I'm running toward than what I'm running away from. Because what I'm running away from is just behind me. Like I'm still in danger, but I'm moving as quickly as I can. I don't need to focus on that because that's there. Where I'm trying to get is there, up ahead. So I'm going to focus on where I'm trying to get, not what I'm trying to get away from. And I feel like I'm really, really on the right path. Like I'm at peace with things. Like my car has this terminal diagnosis and it has its good days and its bad days. And I'm hoping to become a multi-millionaire in time to get it fixed. Or, I'm just looking at not being able to take on a car payment right now. And, I was having a lot of anxiety about that also in the mix of all the things where the walls were closing in. But, and I do still like, I'll feel the anxiety come up. It's not like I've eliminated it, but it's like when it comes up, I deflect it with a shield now. Like I recognize it and I don't let it come any further. Only peace, love, and joy are invited, not anxiety. So I'm getting more and more where I'm truly at peace with the car situation because it's going to run for as long as it runs. I'm going to do everything I can to prolong its life and look for solutions as we go. And there will be a solution. I don't know what it will be exactly because it depends on how long the car lasts. The longer it lasts, the more satisfying the solution. Because, I do have a truck that I could get in. I can't have insurance on two vehicles because insurance on one it stretches my budget to the limit. And, but I can get that truck fixed up if I can say, I don't know how much money that's going to be though. But it's there unless that crazy woman next door gets rid of it, in which case it will not be there. You just kind of have to be stoic about it. You have to just be at peace. Like this is a plan that's there, but there are other options. That's what I'm saying. It's like I can see everything in the room when I don't feel pinned into a little box. I can see everything up ahead of me and every path I could follow when I'm not focused on what's chasing me. Because what's chasing me, I will either get away from it or I won't. I can't run any faster. So I'm at peace with it. Because if it gets me, it's not my fault and it won't last long. Well, it's eating me alive, whatever it is. I don't know. But yeah, like I just see that, the car is an inevitability. It will inevitably either break down forever or get repaired. I will inevitably be able to replace it immediately if it breaks down, or I will not, in which case I will have to find another solution until I can afford to replace it. But I will continue to exist. I will continue to work toward a solution. So yeah, it's been really empowering up in my head. It's been really empowering just feeling the benefits of being intentional about those things. Like it's kind of the recognition that nothing has killed me yet. I have been knocked down, but I have never been wholly defeated. So anyway, that's probably it for now. It's almost 1 a.m. and I need to go crash on a couch. Um, so yeah, I mean, I guess the bottom line is it is what it is. Like, everything may or may not be okay, but I will be okay. And I hope you'll be okay. Like we will endure whatever is to come. Que sera, sera. It's an empowering attitude. Like it's definitely not a lack of caring, it's a choice to find peace with things. And I am going to go find peace with my pillow, hopefully. And now that I've gotten all of this talked out, I can hopefully go to sleep. Um, yeah, so if you want to check out my writing, see, and my website's even been consistently up. Like it's been off and on so much, but it's all up to date. It's all great as I'm recording this. So if you want to check out my writing, my short fiction, my novels, and all of that, you can go to my author website, glensladeclarkjr.com, and check out the podcast that I do with Matthew Paul, where we just kind of talk about hot topics. It's called Autodidactica. And there's links to that at my author website too. And if you are so kind and so inclined, you can leave a reaction and help me get noticed by the algorithm, which would help me sell some books, which would buy me perhaps a bag of pretzels. I don't know. Like pretzels are good. I like pretzels. So, yeah, like, subscribe, comment if you will, if you would like to. I don't govern your experience. I'm not trying to rule your life. I'm just telling you about mine. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for sitting up with me.